Hello everyone, Nadeem here with PC.Solutions.Net. Real quick, I'm going to cover a little bit about security when it comes to Azure AD. Security is, top of mind right now with everybody, and there are some built-in security protections that not a lot of people know about, and they don't even think about it until one of these protections kind of blocks one of your users. So there may be a situation where if you are configured correctly, a user is not allowed access because of risky behavior. And the user will simply get an error message when they try to log in that they need to contact their administrator. And a lot of times I see this, administrators, they start scratching their head and they can't figure out what's going on, and finally they escalate it to us, and then we go in and we open up the user, and so the reason is pretty simple for this. So Azure AD has the capability to block users based on if they have some activity that is impossible. For example, if you're logged in from an IP address that is in Europe, and then 2 minutes later you're logged in from an IP address in Asia, that's impossible. So AD will block your access if it's configured to do so. And then you just go in and unblock it. So let me switch over my screen and give you a little overview of how Azure AD helps you. So the first thing is I want to show you how you can see what your users are doing, who's logging in, who's doing what. So if you have Office 365 or Microsoft 365, then you already have Azure AD. Azure AD has to be there for Office 365 or Microsoft 365 to work. You don't have to manually configure it or anything. It is automatically configured for every tenant, every account out there. So what we're going to do is in this test account, I'm going to go in, click on the pancakes, and click on going to Azure AD. So in Azure Active Directory, the first thing that I want to show you real quick is to look at where users are signing in from. So if you click on under monitoring, click on sign-ins, you'll see where users are logging in from. So over here, it's, this is me. I'm logged in into Azure portal, and it's success. It logs my IP address, my location. Now, if I click over here, I can get more details on this login event. So I'm logged into Azure portal, and I'm using this user agent. So this kind of tells me that I'm using Edge, which is Chrome based right there. See, so I'm using Edge to log into Azure Active Directory. So it was success, the request ID, correlation. I mean, it tracks all of that stuff, and even the latency, which is a good thing to know if you're on a slow connection, which I'm in the boondocks right now. So yeah, I'm on a slow connection. You can also look at your location, which is pretty much the IP address. Not much else out there because it's not able to determine what network type it is. Device info. So I'm logged in from this device ID using Edge browser. It is running Windows 10. Now over here, it's interesting that this machine and this machine that I'm logged into is actually Azure AD joined. So it is a member of this Azure AD. Look at authentication details. Succeeded. Yep, that's what we want to do. MFA requirement satisfied. So we do have MFA enabled on this account, and the requirements were satisfied. There is no conditional access set up on this, and there is no policies to report on. So that's just to get a quick overview of where users are logging in from. So over here you can see all the user sessions, successes, failures. Now in here I'm seeing failure for this guy over and over, and that's to me it seems like it's just a service that's trying to log in and it's not able to log in. But yeah, some interesting facts. The application is good to know as well. Now the security part, you want to click on security. And if you scroll down, you want to look at risky users. So if you had any risky sign-ins, risky users, this is where they will be shown. And if you do have risky users in here, and that's the user that will have the error message when trying to log in, you can simply click on a user and you can confirm the user as compromised, or you can dismiss the user risk. If you dismiss the user risk, the user will be able to log in again. If you confirm user compromised, that user is blocked. We know it's compromised. You have to change the password. You have to do several things, or you can simply block the user. So this is where you will go in and look at your risky users. There's also risky sign-ins. Now the sign-in activity is where you will see people logged in from impossible locations, maybe locations too far apart, and yet people are logging in back and forth. Now this usually happens if you have one user that has access to several cloud systems, so they'll be logging in from one cloud system and then another cloud system, and trigger this alert. But easy to resolve. But that's where it is. That's how you go in and do that. So real nice and short video today. Maybe tomorrow we will go a little bit more into security, and I want to talk about security and some of the new features that are coming out with Microsoft 365. So I don't know if you're aware, but Microsoft renamed their naming scheme, and it's not Office 365 anymore. It's Microsoft 365. They bundled a few products together, and it's a good thing. You're getting more for the buck. So that's what it is. But we'll talk more about it tomorrow. Until then, everybody be safe out there, and have a happy Wednesday. Have a good one, everyone.